Hello everyone, and welcome to the Poor Man's Chemist. In this video, we are going to be converting diethylamine hydrochloride that I got from China into diethylamine. So we're going to be converting the amine salt into the free-based amine. This is a very simple procedure. All that we're going to do is I'm going to take 20 grams of the diethylamine hydrochloride salt, and I'm going to combine that with 60 milliliters of 40% sodium hydroxide that I've got here. And then we're just going to warm this thing up and allow it to react, and then we're going to distill through the column here and into the receiver. Very basic setup. I'm going to be using ice water to cool everything, although diethylamine boils at around 55°C, so I mean, I don't know that it's really necessary, but I mean, we'll increase the amount we recover. Because it can't decide whether it's going to rain or not, which really is the whole reason I didn't get this filmed yesterday, because just the weather constantly, the forecast kept changing. It's kind of mostly inside here. I know in my lab tour video I said don't ever do this, but it's mostly, it's hanging out a little bit. We got the fan here, and anything that's coming off of this is going to be going down through the funnel trap here into this bowl of hydrochloric acid. It's not concentrated hydrochloric acid. It's, I don't know what it is. I just poured some water in there and poured some HCl in there. It's fine. You just want something that's going to react with any diethylamine vapor that comes off of your distillation apparatus. And the fan is just yet another, safety measure to clear out any more vapor that may come off the thing. I really don't expect there to be a lot because, I mean, it should be a pretty closed system. So, anyway, this is, like I said, this is a very basic reaction. One of the nice things about this, though, is that from what I've been able to find, diethylamine does not form an azeotrope with water, which is pretty cool. So that means that, we shouldn't get a whole lot of water, coming over with this, and we'll get some, of course. But then, once it's distilled, in theory, all I'll have to do is just fractionally distill the product that I get, and should end up with relatively pure diethylamine. There are steps that we can take to dry it further, which I'm going to look into and will have to report back on later. Since I got to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. But anyway, yeah. Without further ado, let's just jump right into freebasing diethylamine hydrochloride. Alright everyone, I've had this 40% sodium hydroxide cooling off in some ice water for the last about 20 minutes. And what I'm going to go ahead and do now is weigh out the diethylamine hydrochloride, put it in here, and then I'm going to go ahead and connect this to the distillation train, add ice to this, or ice water, and we'll get everything started. So here we go. Alright, got everything where it needs to be. So that's good. Alright, and you guys can see everything. Okay, here we go. And of course, here comes the wind, because I'm going to try to weigh something out. Actually, let me go grab this, because I noticed this stuff is kind of damp and clumpy when I looked at it before. And what's interesting is that it does not have a smell really of any kind that I noticed. You would think it would have kind of a faint, amine-ish odor, but nope. I got 100 grams of it. Yeah, 100 grams of diethylamine hydrochloride from China for just under $20. So yeah, it could be almost anything. I don't know. I've never had any problems buying chemicals from China before. I guess we're going to find out, though. Okay. And I should add that I've never done this reaction before either. But, oh, there we go. Now I can smell some of that yummy, fishy, amine goodness. And if my sarcasm isn't coming across, then just allow me to manually insert it here. Okay. Alright, you're not going to move. Fine. Whatever. You're not going anywhere. Okay. Actually, I think that's just going to get in the way. Just take that off of there and put it over here. Alright. Okay. That's good. Got the last clamp on it. Alright. Let's get my scale cleaned up here. Okay, well, hey. If the smell of that as it's hit that base was anything to go by, it's definitely an amine hydrochloride. Alright. Now I've already got coolant flowing through here, so, but it just isn't, it's just room temperature. Which right now is about 21 degrees Celsius. And yeah, this is pretty typical for late October in the South. Let's make sure we don't fuck anything up. Ah, a little air bubble, that's fine. Okay, alright, well, here goes nothing, kids. Turn on the stirring. Like I said, we've got this going into that bowl of HCl, whose strength I am going to increase here shortly. You know, some conch HCl, it's fine. You know, I have to imagine that if any chemophobic people, like, you know, watch my channel, they must be horrified by the way I handle these chemicals. It's like, yeah, what the fuck ever, it's fine. Here, you want to see? Ooh, look! Ooh, I'm touching it. Oh! It's just dilute HCl. See? I'm fine. If you taste it, it's sour. Although I wouldn't go tasting hardware store HCl. It's probably not a good idea. Ooh, now this is interesting. Okay. Now I see why they said that you needed to warm it up, because it's a little chilly. It's not really dissolving all well either. So I worked out that with 20 grams of diethylamine hydrochloride, it should use up 7 and change, I'm sure it's at the bottom of the screen, grams of sodium hydroxide and produce so many grams of sodium chloride. I mean, it should also produce, I think it was like 3.5 grams of water. But if we need to add a little more water, that's not impossible. We can do that. Well, we'd have to add more, 40% NaOH, actually. Let's just see what we can do with this. Have you decided that you're running on your own anyway today? No need to turn you on? Yeah, it's doing that shit again. Alright. Well, I guess what I'll do is I will come back here when I actually have something to show you, because it really isn't that exciting right now. So, when I have something interesting to point out or to show y'all, I will come back. Alright everybody, it looks like as it's warming up, it's starting to liquefy in there, so I guess 60 mils was sufficient, I hope. I can occasionally catch a little whiff of like a combination of like a fish and ammonia type smell, which is what I would expect for diethylamine. So, you know. So far, though, this has been working really well, and I haven't even had to turn on the fan yet. Fingers crossed it stays that way. I said, amines don't bother me that much, but they aren't the most pleasant smelling things in the world. But, you know, if this works out well and get some diethylamine, one thing that I'd really like to do is a video where I show you a thin layer chromatography process that I came about to look for indole alkaloids in plant samples. Legal plant samples. I want to stress that there. But, yeah, I mean, there's nothing illegal about looking for the alkaloids and seeing if you can find them. And it just so happens that I came across a TLC system where it requires benzene, diethylamine, and I think it was ethyl acetate. And it separates out a lot of different indole-based alkaloids fairly well. So I thought we could take a look at that. But I need the diethylamine, of course, in order to make it work. So that's what this is all about. Yeah, I know. Nothing more nefarious than that. Sorry, guys. Although I think that if you stick with me, you'll be really happy with the thin layer chromatography that I'm going to teach you. So, yeah. Don't give up on me yet, kids. There's always so much more to come. Alright, well, I learned one thing about this reaction. It foams a lot. Thank God I had this thing up on a stand and I could get it off the heat very quickly. Yeah, so I should always use a stand, kids. That's why I balance my boiling flasks on these things. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. Wow. It's not so much the heat as it is the stirring. Are we getting any distillate? Damn, I should have done this in a much bigger flask. I wonder if I can switch it over. Oh God, no, not now. Okay, well, what we can do is just, yeah, we'll just give it little bits of stirring as it needs it. Be very judicious with it, very judicious with the heat. Okay, that is as slow as it goes. That's getting us a good bit of gas production. It doesn't look like it's getting too crazy. Okay. We hit a nice happy medium here. Wow. I'm really glad I decided to put this thing up on a stand. As you can see, it's not actually touching it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to babysit this damn thing. Oh well, okay, well, we've learned something important about this reaction. Do it in a bigger flask when you're not doing it. Very important. Make sure you use the right size boiling flask for the reactions you don't do. Okay. Okay, this is wild. All I have to do is turn up the stirring, and you can see the vapors come right on up there, fill the distillation head, and yeah, look at that. We've got distillate. And you want to know what the most wild thing about this is? I barely even have the heat on. This is precisely what I would expect for something that is chemically reacting to form a gas. Basically. I mean, I wouldn't think that a whole ton of heating would really be required. Yeah. Looks like I was basically right. Cool. It's nice when you're correct. Oh boy, that's a lovely smell. think little bubbles are escaping my funnel trap every now and again. But luckily, that's what the fan is for. Would you look at that? Getting a nice bit of diethylamine right there. That is so beautiful. That just fills me with a warm, fuzzy feeling. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, I mean, the temperature hasn't gone up enough to even register on the thermometer, the distillation head. That's just crazy. I love this. Oh my god, I love it when it works out. See, this is why I don't have an issue with, like, buying stuff from the Chinese. They never screw me over. They'll watch it, I'll say that, and this will be like shitty diethylamine or something. No, I don't think Xi is a fan of poor quality control. And I think in China it's very unhealthy to not be a fan of whatever Xi is a fan of. But that's communism for you. That's why it's evil. And has no redeeming virtues. Well, okay, you know, it's easy to, I guess, to, you know, or rather it's hard to say that when I am clearly benefiting from that diabolical system, then yeah, I guess I kind of do have a bit of a moral problem with that. I have morals. Who knew? I'm a little surprised myself. Alright, well, I'm just going to let this keep going, and then I will come back when it's, looks like it's finishing up. Because, yeah, this is going swimmingly, man. This is way simpler and easier than I had thought that it would be, and I knew it would be pretty simple and easy. Ugh, amines. Yuck. Alright, everyone. I'm beginning to think this might be done. I mean, whenever I turn on the stirring now, there's no gas being produced at all. It is, I mean, I've had the heat on, it's warm to the touch. I mean, I imagine that there must be some diethylamine dissolved in here. I wonder just how much that really would be. I don't know. Well, the protocol I read did say to heat it up, so we're going to try that and see what happens. Again, I mean, worst that'll happen is some water will evaporate over, and then I'll have to fractionally distill the product. I mean, as for the product I've got thus far, it's absolutely beautiful. In fact, I'm thinking I'm just going to go ahead and pour this into a bottle as it is now, because this should be pretty darn pure diethylamine. And do that before any water gets into it. So I never have any clean small ones when I need them. But this will do. You know, I'm even wondering if screwing with the rest of it is even worth it. Because, I mean, to do TLC, that's probably going to be more than enough to make up a decent-sized batch of mobile phase. That is freaking awesome. Just, is it? Oh, come on, damn it. Oh, wow, God. It's much more ammonia-like than it is fish-like. That's weird. Because triethylamine is much more fish-like than it is ammonia-like. That is definitely more on the ammonia side of things. Cool. I learned something new about diethylamine. Oh, we getting any vapor at all? Okay, yes. Yes. A very tiny bit, I think. I don't know how tiny it is, but we are. I'd swear I see something there. Yep. There's a droplet on the thermometer, so something is distilling. Okay. Is it enough to be worth screwing with? This is the other question. Still ice in my coolant reservoir, so that's still ice cold. Oh, wait. Is that a drop of distillate that I see? Ah, what do you know? It sure is. A whole drop. Oh, two. Okay, alright. So there is a little bit still to be had that dissolved into the water, which is to be expected. I mean, it's an amine. The low molecular weight amines tend to be pretty soluble. I guess I should say miscible. That's probably a better word. Oh, all right. Well, maybe it is worth it to pump that crap to get as much diethylamine out as you can. There's a little bit in there. We'll let it keep going and we'll see how much we finally get out of it. I'm not sure when to say it's done. I really don't want to contaminate this diethylamine with any more water vapor than is absolutely necessary. And the temperature is definitely climbing in my boiling flask here. So even though it's probably, in fact I guarantee you it's not completely done, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here. Because it's more important to me to eliminate as much water vapor as possible than it is to get a super high yield. Because I want to use this in thin layer chromatography, I don't want any water to be mixed with my diethylamine or any other component of that mobile phase. I will have to probably distill this again, and I'll probably end up just going ahead and distilling the rest of it too, just treating the rest of it and getting all of it as the free diethylamine. But there you go, people. That's what 20 grams of it gets you if you're doing your best to exclude as much water as possible. I'm not actually sure what the yield is. I don't know that I really care that much. So long as I have some, that's all I really care about. So, there you go, y'all. Diethylamine by freebasing diethylamine hydrochloride. I know, it just sounds so edgy every time you say it, when in reality, this is all that process means, is that you are converting a organic, base salt to the free base. That's all it is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that short little demo there. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. Please comment. Any engagement is good engagement, and it's all welcome. And if you think that I've earned it, then please subscribe. And until the next time, y'all, we'll see you later.